This is not for everyone, but if your garden never turns out the way you expect, you're probably making the same mistake I see every day in Vancouver. This is for homeowners in Vancouver who, you've put in the effort, you've spent more than you planned, and when you look at your garden, it's not bad, it just doesn't feel like yours. Today, this is what I'm working on. So this side will just stay all like a moss garden because the moss is basically being taken over. So, and the grass is dying off. So she just keep this as a moss garden, just rake up all the leaves, clean it up a little bit. And then, so on this part of the garden, reason why I chose all these plants, as you can see above, it's quite a bit of shade in the front part of the garden. The back by the stairs will get a bit more sun. So what I've used is basically a clump of 3 of the hostas. There's some hostas there, 3 sets of ferns, which are semi-evergreen, 3 sets of hostas here, another fern, and then three sets of hostas. So they'll all give it, these are like a yellow and green. That's kind of like a bluey color, the hosta there, and then a white and green at the end. So it'll have a mix of a couple different colors. And then for the winter time, when the hostas all kind of die off, I chose some daphnes or skimmias. These are the male skimmias, very fragrant. They'll reach a height about that tall and wide, so it'll give some nice coverage, and also green throughout the winter time and the fragrance. So I dotted those 3 different spots all the way down here. Just maybe even that one a little closer there. And that'll kind of fill in those spaces there. And then on the other side, this is going to be a walkway down the middle, a flagstone walkway. And same idea, I copied the same on this side with the daphnes, one on that end, one on that end. There's a choicea, which is semi-sun, part sun, part shade, but it can also tolerate quite a bit of shade. So this will be 4 or 5 foot tall, same width, so it'll fill in that whole space nicely. At the end is going to be a camellia. And then in between, basically it'll be a camellia, a purple hydrangea here, then the choicea, another purple hydrangea here, the viburnum bush, which will fill in this area as well. And then around this sump pump here, I'm doing the shorter variety of the sarcococa. So these ones have a really nice fragrance late winter. So again, right by the walkway, it'll give a nice smell. These will all flower first. Once these ones finish flowering, then the viburnum will come into flower. And then once this kind of slow, well, that's pretty much the same time as the skimmias. So and then the skimmias will all come into flower. And then once the skimmias fade off, the choicea will start to flower. And once that fades off, then the hydrangeas will start to flower. So there's basically something fragrant or flowers from January right through till basically like through till the end of summertime, and then the hostas will flower in the summertime. So that'll give a really nice, like basically a flower period from January right through till August, September. And then in September, what I'll probably do is show her some of the hellebores, and then because when the hostas die off, you probably want something a little bit green at the front. So then from basically September, October till January, before the sarcococa starts to bloom, I'll do some hellebores in the front. So a few hellebores in the front, which will give that greenery through the winter time when the hostas die back, but also it'll give some of the color with the flowers. So pretty much there'll be something flowering all year long. And then on this side, again, just the heathers in the front, a white hydrangea, the Graham Blandy boxwood, and then we're gonna basically match the other side with the Graham Blandy boxwood and a white hydrangea. So that'll be the combo that I have throughout the garden. And once everything fills in, they'll all fill in quite nicely. These hostas are like 2 foot tall. Well, this variety is a foot tall by a foot wide, which is closer to the walkway, so I chose a smaller one for this side. The blue one and the one at the end there are all going to be around, they're 2 foot tall and 2 foot wide, so again, wider spot, so they'll fill in a wider area. And then these will be 2 foot by 2 foot, so again, they'll fill in this whole area as well. Probably actually space these out maybe a little bit more, just because they are going to be about 2 foot by 2 foot. And we're trying to fill in the space too, so we don't want to use too many plants and crowd everything. And these are the Jurassic ferns, which again are going to be, they're like 2 foot, 2 foot by 2 foot. So fill in that area nicely too. We only had a few of the ferns. I think we have one more at the store. So you usually want to do a group of 3s, but I'm short. So I'm doing 3 there. I'll probably do two of them here. Again, it'll fill in the area. And what I did underneath the soil was cardboard. I did a video earlier before I started and before the photos as well. So underneath the cardboard is all grass. So I laid down cardboard, which will block out the grass from growing. It'll decompose a lot better than adding fabric or plastic underneath, so to stop, which would stop your soil from actually breathing. And then once the cardboard breaks down, it'll turn into soil. The worms like to go through it and chew it up too, so it'll create a fairly good soil level underneath all these plants as they fill in. So that's what we're looking at. But this is what most people don't see. Soil was uneven plants. Too close, wrong plant, wrong spot. That's a very common mistake. See, this was a huge hump of soil that was this high compared to the sidewalk. So I leveled it all out and make it so it's level with the sidewalk. And then push these heather back away from the sidewalk so they're not growing into the sidewalk. Normally I would put water in the hole first, but I think she'll water afterwards. And then I'll do bark mulch, the hydrangea at the back there. Bark mulch, bark mulch. And that'll be it. The Graham Blandies. Go about there. So you can see on both sides. I'm just hoping it'll get enough sunshine. Should, but there's a lot of trees above and they're not even leafed out yet. It'd actually almost be better to have one there too. 1, 2, 3. This might be a little hard to get out, that root ball. Yeah, well, I think what we were just gonna do was just get down deep enough I can just take a saw and I can saw it out. Just hand saw it. Because our chainsaw is dull now. And I mostly just need to get below here. It should be enough to cut it down and then just remove it. This message is for you. If your garden looks like it should work, but somehow it doesn't, more plants won't fix it. In fact, they usually make it worse. What you need first is clarity. Before you spend more money, tell me, what's not working in your garden right now? Is it the soil, the layout, or plants that just won't grow? Please comment below, or send me a message. I'll help you figure out what to fix first. No guessing, no wasted money. No wasted seasons. I'm Darrell, and I'll see you in the garden.